Test, test. Hello, everyone. Hey, Kelly, Lindy. I think I saw Brian and Lou in there, Zeronautic. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well, and welcome to the 2025 Extra Life Video Game Marathon. Kelly can't be here this year, so I'm flying solo. Be afraid. Be very afraid. So, Chaos, hello. Lindy, I know you're on the other side of the world, so don't worry about turning in soon. Thanks for showing up. If you see the counter at the top of the screen, it looks like the stream only has 58 minutes. What it actually says, it just doesn't fit into the top, is it's a 24-hour timer, so it says 1 day and 58 minutes. So it'll make more sense in an hour. So, Jared, hey. How long have I been awake already? About 3 hours or so. I was, like, thinking maybe I should sleep till 10, but, I got up at, I think, I woke up, I think, at 8:30, and then I just kind of laid there for another half an hour. While flying solo, are we leaving behind trails in the sky? Okay, so, the main game this year is going to be a Trails in the Sky remake, but to more fully appreciate the new, let's spend a couple hours revisiting the old. So here we have Trails in the Sky, first chapter, which is a 20-year-old handheld game, and I'm telling you, it looks gorgeous on a 4K 65-inch television. So, also, if anyone needs me to adjust my microphone volume or the game's volume, let me know. I checked the levels, it sounded good to me, but we'll see how it plans. Also, there's a reminder in the chat every half an hour that links to the event webpage where you can donate. But I've also got a QR code, so if you don't want to wait for the link to scroll by or where it says make a donation on the little announcements ribbon that's down there, you can scan the QR code and that'll take you to the donate page too. So how old does something have to be until it's considered retro, asked the Leet Skeet? Well, that depends on how old you are. For me, it's usually, generally I think when people say retro, they mean games from their childhood. And games from my childhood were like Atari and original Nintendo. So, but a lot of kids today, you know, the Xbox 360 is their retro gaming, so. How long did it take last night to get it working? Not too long. I've been working on this for, the biggest trouble I had was getting this is a PC game running on my television, and it took me a while to configure it so that I don't have controller lag. Anyway, let's start. And yes, I'm wearing the socks that Riku got me a couple years ago. Ellipsis. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too, Ellipsis. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training, Ellipsis. I'm so bored! Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit before dinner. In the house, amongst the fine china. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you know that people have heard of me? Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Hee, of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm as fit as a fiddle and ready for love. That reminds me, though, I brought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Strega? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle Ellipsis. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one! Now, why don't you come have a look? Ellipsis. What ellipsis? Ellipsis. Brian says, I remember the first time you played this, it kept crashing at the first cutscene. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, here you are. I stole a child. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? Ellipsis? Why is my present a boy? Well, don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up, Ellipsis? You mean he's still alive? Oh, shit. Not only did I think you brought me a boy, I thought you brought me a dead boy. I thought it was a corpse. Looks kind of dead if you ask me. I've treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, Ellipsis will need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. He sure sleeps soundly, Ellipsis. Let's change that. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Fess up, Ellipsis? Yeah. Who is this kid, anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kinds of words, Ellipsis? No doubt from Sherazard, I assume. Yep, that's right. Brian says, what presents is Estelle used to getting that a dead boy seems a plausible gift to her? Yeah. For heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days with all her nonsense, Ellipsis. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business, and I didn't even know his name. I don't. Still don't. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look, Ellipsis. Huh? He's waking up. We are kind of loud. Ellipsis. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber, Ellipsis. Ellipsis. Where, Ellipsis, am I, Ellipsis? So you're awake now, are you? Dude, did I put my the script's gonna have a plethora of ellipses in my prediction script? Or my predictions sheet? I don't remember. I predict the remake is going to be lousy with ellipses, too. Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please just try to rest. Ellipsis. What are you trying to pull, Ellipsis? Huh? You must be out of your mind, Ellipsis. Why, Ellipsis? Why didn't you just leave me there to die? I also figure that, for example, like this scene will be fully voiced. I imagine most of the major character cutscenes are going to be fully voiced. Regular talking to the townsfolk NPCs, I would imagine it's still just text-based, but... So it's probably not going to have the same impact, because I imagine there's going to be a lot more voiceover. I did miss that. Yeah, I kind of slacked on the prediction sheet, because I was busy with everything else. Because Kelly had to deal with her own life, and couldn't just, drop everything and fly halfway across the country to accommodate me. Siblings. Why? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Estelle, you know my father? Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in, Ellipsis? Hey! You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. Ellipsis? And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. I am Bestelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it, Ellipsis. Wait a minute, don't try and change the sub-double hyphen. Bonk, bonk. Ow! Quit yelling! Alright already, Ellipsis. But you jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either. I'm laughing because I've seen some of the marketing for the remake, and I know what changes for this scene specifically. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just gonna make things worse, Ellipsis. Do I hear Ellipsis yelling? Never mind, just forget it, Ellipsis. As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in the house. Or outside. Or anytime, really. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that, Ellipsis. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh, Ellipsis? Your name. You know, that thing that people call you. I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? Ellipsis. You know what I did forget to do? I forgot to eat lunch. I was, So, one of the gimmicks of this marathon. Last year, my sister and I indulged in a bunch of the nostalgic foods from our youth. You know, Kool-Aid, fruit roll-ups, Blue Box Kraft mac and cheese. To relive the glory days and see how our taste buds have matured over the years. This year, the plan was to do what we found out is we had shitty taste as kids, so we decided this year we're gonna do adult versions of all the stuff we did last year. But that's a little difficult to do when I'm here. I don't think y'all want to watch Extra Life commercials while I'm cooking, so I'm not gonna do the dinner. I made scratch mac and cheese. All I have to do is put it in the oven. Gonna have that for dinner. So I intended to actually eat lunch before the marathon, and then I forgot. Oops. Ellipsis? Ellipsis? Yeah, it seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Ellipsis. Fine, Ellipsis. My name is Ellipsis. I've been telling you it the whole time. Zeronautics says, I still hold a grudge over Kraft mac and cheese. It's good! Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. I think it crashed trying to load the movie, right? So we should be okay? Copyright strike. mean, it's a clenched iron gauntlet, but it's almost a thumbs up, you know? Scream. Look at that low poly 3D, it's adorable. Okay, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Okay, I think we're alright. Ellipsis. It's so bright in here. Ellipsis. Estelle Bright. Ellipsis. I slept like a rock. Ellipsis. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Ah, I guess that's a no. Well, I guess I'd better get myself ready then, too. So I think my prediction was, for the opening, we're gonna have a redone opening. Same scenes, just redone in the new engine and character models and stuff like that. Same music, just re-recorded. Not remastered, but fully re-recorded. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope it didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. When are you gonna learn a second song? I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, what with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. Some princes use the kiss method, others the harmonica. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age and I'm hardly a man. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try it and sound a tiny bit sincere, Ellipsis. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful, Ellipsis. I like your other songs, too, of course, but this one's my favorite. Okay, he does have more than one. Ellipsis, what's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, the Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks, Ellipsis. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. Yeah, you're probably right. I guess my problem is that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise, too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff, like reading and music, tooey. No girl's gonna be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing and collecting bugs and has a fetish for sports shoes? Ellipsis. That's enough talk about hobbies for now, Ellipsis. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I don't believe that when I stopped finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't you, both of you, hurry on down before it gets cold? Eighth, yeah. The plan is to play, I think, up to the Rollant Sewers. That should be about 2 hours. I mean, the way I play. And then we'll switch over to the remake. I think that'll give us a good sense of, you know, the visuals, the sound, the writing, the game mechanics, the cutscene construction, all that stuff. So that's the plan. Oh, also, our goal is $4,000 for Rady Children's. We're starting the marathon with 1724, so that's great. If we hit $2,000, I will up my donation to... I already donated $100, but if we hit 2,000, I will up that to match the largest donation up to $250. And we've got one that's $250, so... so if we raise 2,000, I'll be dumping another 150 in, so... look forward to that. Okay, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'd say so, Brian. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. You know one streamer who bounced off this one, but enjoyed the remake? Yeah, how old is the streamer, out of curiosity? I'm 45, so this is not a... you know, this isn't even retro to me. You know, it's not modern, but it's not really retro. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right, it'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. As long as I don't fail the written test. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning, or in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. 30s? Okay. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you too. Yeah, this is an older game. It's 20 years old now. Even stuff like the menuing is kind of clunky. I'm been playing through the series. I'm in the middle of Cold Steel now, so it's gonna be interesting playing this for a couple hours and being like, oh man, how did I put up with this? That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two, Ellipsis. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh, Ellipsis? Ellipsis? Wait, Ellipsis, what test? Please tell me that you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You found the pacing super slow? Oh man, he'd probably hate my streams though, because I drag this stuff out forever. Please tell me that you didn't... well, I mean, it's not too surprising. I mean, we've been playing for 20 minutes. We're still in the opening cutscene. Granted, I'm reading everything and stopping to chat every once in a while, but... test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning and training? You don't remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, Ellipsis. Totally forgot Ellipsis. Now that you mention it, I guess I did kind of remember... I guess I kind of remember saying something like that, Ellipsis. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll manage somehow or another. I honestly don't know how you've survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa is sad. Father is disappointed. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? Ha! You're the one who raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I learned it from watching you. And I swear the two of you act so much, I'm probably making the exact same jokes I made when I first played through this 5 years ago. I swear the two of you act so much alike, but whatevs. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Shara's gonna be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? Lipsis. How about Rouen-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle, Ellipsis. Or our stomachs, Ellipsis. You're right, I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude. But I can't actually say he's wrong, Ellipsis. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. And we got 500 mirror. I think the paper's usually 100, so that's nice. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. No new Stragas for you, young miss. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Charizard my regards. Alright, cool, so... By the way, Dad, is it going to be alright if you stay at home like this instead of going to the guild today? You haven't been there for a couple days now. Well, unfortunately, I have a lot of paperwork to sort out, but don't you worry, I'm carrying a big enough workload that the guild's not likely to fire me anytime soon. Well, that's not exactly the most convincing thing I've heard come out of your mouth, Ellipsis. How about yourself? Shouldn't you be getting over to the guild? Charizard's waiting, right? Alright. Yeah, so one of the things is you move the cursor and then you have to manually select. And then, yeah, you don't use the shoulder buttons to tab, which is, the menu could use some work. No quartz. Didn't think I had any. Got a map. There we are over in Roland. That's fine. Alright. Let's take a nap. Hey, Lou. Alright, now that we've slept with our brother, I think it's time to start the day. Let's sleep with him again. It's fine, we're not related. It's not weird or anything. Should we leave this fire burning? Yeah, sure it'll be fine. Well, I don't know where we're supposed to clean up or go to the bathroom, but, yeah, standing log for staff practice. So's that. Alright, off we go. Wild Blue Yonder time. The Elise Highway. There's the Bright House. And 49 Selge to Roland. Let's go to Grand Cell. Still, Roland City's in the opposite direction. You're not sleepwalking again, are you? How about you just be quiet and keep your comments to yourself? Alright, Roland it is. And we have no CP. We're children! Looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school ellipsis and never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers ellipsis. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you expected to get away with any less effort. Oh, yeah. I guess I did, ellipsis. Alright then, let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there then. Run away! Oh, we can, alright. Alright, who do we remember in town? I remember, I think it was Ida, the lady over here. Where is she? Is she not sitting over here? There was usually a... because she had a Abend bar. Oh, hey! Abend! Yeah, how about that? And this little girl's like Chloe or something? I think she wants to be a journalist. Remember her? Good. Claire! Claire, I was close. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Estelle and Joshua. Did the two of you really become bracers? What? How did you know? That's because working in the media is my future goal. I'm going to join the Liberal News Service and work hard as a reporter. Don't take my information lightly either. Oh, sure thing. My gut feeling says that the two of you are going to be in the tabloids. Well, thanks. Isn't it romantic that you two lovers are bracers who stand for justice? I have this feeling that a juicy drama is about to unfold. Lovers? Joshua and I aren't lovers, we're family-ish. You really don't understand anything, Estelle. Joshua's adopted and things could go either way in the future, right? Plus, anime. Plus, leaving it at that would surely please the readers. But readers, ellipsis? Anyway, I'm looking forward to both of you in more ways than one. Well, that's... disturbing. The two valiant bracers who had each other's backs and attempted to escape from the crisis, ellipsis. Ah, ellipsis love could definitely grow between them from that point. This is so riveting, ellipsis. Alright. Well, maybe she's still looking for the cat or something. Who the hell is she? Because I gave her that low, sultry voice for some reason, if I'm remembering right. Anyway. Okay. I'm just on my way over to the Forest of Mistwald, to the south of here for work. There was a merchant from Bose who came here to buy lumber. I need to get enough ready for the order I received. Alright. Birds! Birds. Where are the kids? There they are. Yeah, you're gonna have to catch me first. I'm the one who discovered it. I'm the one who discovered it. I'm the one who discovered it. Yep, okay. Yeah. Take me with you! I'm the one who told you about the place to begin with! Whoop. Oh, Estelle and Joshua. Good morning, Uni. Aren't Luke and Pat with you today? Oh, they were just here a minute ago, ellipsis. Two of them suddenly took off and went somewhere. I wonder where they went. Birds. doubt I can leave. Almost time to start our training. Let's go to the guild house. Oh, alright. There doesn't seem to be many people standing around outside. Boy, I didn't even have to get close to the door that time. Roland landing port. Can we go to the airport? Yeah, we can. Can we see a windsock from here? Ransel and Bose. No explosives. A lot of people will leave from Roland today, ellipsis, and a lot of people will come, ellipsis, which means a lot of chicks will pass through here, score. Staring at these girls is one of my simple pleasures. You know what I mean, right, Joshua? Sure, ellipsis. Alan, you never change a bit. All this nonsense is the reason why you can't get a girlfriend. You wound me, Estelle. But it's because of this enjoyment that I feel it's worth doing this job. It's a paradise. Ha ha ha! This guy's a serious nut job, ellipsis. Staring at these girls is one of my simple pleasures. Windsock! There's the windsock. We love windsocks. Cold Steel doesn't have, well, Erebonia doesn't seem to believe in the majesty of the windsock. Erebonia sucks. We've missed the windsocks. Shoot! Today of all days I sleep in, ellipsis. I must have had one too many cold ones last night. I'd better hurry up with my pre-work inspections. Time to get pumped! Oop, I caught on something. Dave! Super Metal Dave in the chat says, hey Andrew Eisen, I just donated, but it lists my full real name, first and last, and I wasn't able to change it in the payment options, but yeah, that's me with the 30. Thanks, Dave. I hope you're doing well in San Diego these days. Yeah, things are going well. Glad to hear you're well too, if you are. Miss having you here. Unfortunately, Kelly can't, Kelly had to back out last minute. It's the way it goes. So let's, alright, let me update my sheet. Super Metal Dave. Oh, and we got another one, Chrysopolis. All right. Chrysopolis says, "Good luck, Andrew. Rooting for you for the children." Thank you much. Yeah. Well, that should automatically update the banner at the top of the stream. Let's see how long that takes. Chrysopolis. Gotta get you a raffle ball. There we go. There's Chrysopolis' raffle ball. Oh, so for anyone who didn't realize, Lindy, who might still be in the chat, is offering her generous talents to as a prize for a raffle. So if every $50 you donate, you get a raffle ball. And at the end of the night, we draw a ball, and whoever gets drawn, Lindy will draw them something cool of their choice. So, a little extra incentive there. Alright, let's... Oh, and Corinne Hilbert just donated too. Okay. Hey, we got some donations coming in. Give me just a sec. Hey, Corinne. If you're in the chat, hope you're well. sure I got that right. Alright, sweet. That should bring us to 1839, I believe. Yeah, alright, sweet. Yep, Lindy's still here. Dave says doing great in Illinois. That's yeah, that's why Dave hasn't been here for a couple of years. He moved, so that happens. All right. So why is that not updating? Hey, give me just a sec here. There it goes. I had to manually refresh it. Weird. Don't usually have to do that. Oh well. Alright, 1839 raised for Rady Children's. Thank you, everyone. Alright. Whoop. Missed. There we go. Scheduled flight from Grand Cell is about to arrive. I'd better start making landing guild preparations. Next flight will be arriving from Bose this afternoon. Yeah, every time I have to meddle with OBS, it moves the focus away from the display that the PC game is running on, and it just stops. So every time I have to do that, the sound will cut out for a minute, but yeah, so. Next, going to Bose this afternoon. Alright. The kids are still running around. This is the clock tower that killed Mom. This is the hotel. Got the mayor's house over here. Everyone running around. Oh. Looks like everyone's inside today. And the church. Alright, well, let's make a circuit. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. My, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. Good morning. Where are you off to this morning? It must be tough waking up so early. And she turns around and stops. So she's like, alright, I'm done with this conversation. You know what? Raft Scrap has a new song out today. But I'm gonna focus on the marathon for the children. Where are you off to this morning? It must be tough waking up so early, yes. It has been a while since I saw the both of you. I'm impressed to see you visiting the chapel so early in the morning. Good morning, Father Divine. Good morning. You were habitually late and played hooky more than a few times during your Sunday school days, Estelle. So, have you changed your attitude on life since you graduated? Ellipsis. A bit, I guess, Ellipsis. Yeah, looks like there's a little time before morning mass begins, so how about I give you both a special sermon, Ellipsis? Ellipsis. No, thanks. Why am I getting thrown into the mix here, Ellipsis? Don't want any of your Special Sermoning Father Divine, if that is your real name. It's almost time for Mass. Mylene is already here, so I better hurry along. Yeah. Come on, Mylene. Da, 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 da. This is where Stadler and Waldorf watch Mass. Oh, let me double check something real quick. Okay, so we currently have 22 unique donors. Anonymous donations get all lumped into counted as one. So speaking of Raft Scrap, if we get 30 unique donors, I will wear the silver chain from the bonsai cosplay that I did for the Raft Scrap Be Prepared cover behind the scenes video I did 6 months ago. So there's some incentive. So 30 unique donations and I'll put on the chain, and 40 unique donations and I'll add the earrings. Costume jewelry for the children! I can imagine all the Rady Children's kids watching this going, oh, thank goodness, I thought he'd forgotten. Super Metal Dave says, I love how Andrew always says, for the children, and then at midnight, it's time for Stellar Blade. Yeah. Stellar Blade, for the children. I mean, it's after dark, it's the children are asleep. Time zones aren't a thing, what? Oh, and I've unlocked all of Eve's costumes in Stellar Blade, so make sure you're watching at midnight, because there will be a way for donors to select which outfit Eve covers her Jiggle Physics Enhanced Derriere with. Oh yeah, you think Jiggle Physics is relegated just to her bust? Oh, no, friends. She's got Jiggle Physics all over. When she's climbing a ladder, her feet hit each rung of a ladder really hard and sends tremors through her backside. It's the silliest thing. Anyway, that's for after dark. So I'm so busy. This mansion is quite big. I've got serving, cleaning, and washing to do. Mornings are so busy for a maid. Today's objective, to finish the cleaning before the missus returns from the chapel. Oh, is Mylene the missus? I'm wondering if these type of little blue chests that are up on the dressers are going to be there in the remake too, because they always annoyed me, because it's like, I want to open those. I'm an RPG protagonist. Surely I should have access to every drawer and chest in your house. Oh, good morning, Estelle and Joshua. Good morning, Mayor Klaus. Good morning. I've been hearing great things about the both of you. So you're undergoing bracer training, are you? Having such youngsters sign up all by themselves to become bracers and protect everyone is inspiring. I expect great things out of you, and if I don't get them, I know where you live. Well, we'll do our best. Having such youngsters sign up all by themselves to become bracers and protect everyone is inspiring. Great things, I expect. Yes. Is it safe? Dave says, I'm all for it. Stellar Blade is awesome. I beat that game on PS5 and own it on PC. The gameplay is amazing. I agree for the most part. I think it's a super solid start for the studio. There's a lot of S's. I really like how the game is structured. It's got a lot of variety. It's got a central hub area with NPC townspeople and side quests. It's got linear levels to explore. It's got wide open world areas to explore. It's also got these two like underground bunkers where you can't use your sword and it's all, you know, you can only use your gun. And you've got all kind of, it's almost Resident Evil like with creepy zombies and stuff. There's a really great desire for gameplay variety, which is really appreciated. The combat is super solid, a lot of fun. Here's the door. Where I think it reminds me of Metroid Other M in a lot of ways. Linen closet? I cannot get in the linen closet. Maybe in the remake? Probably not, but here's hoping. What was I saying? It's kind of like Metroid Other M. The game, it's really visually a pretty game. It plays really well mechanically. It's a lot of fun. But where it falls flat is in the story and the characterization. Just some of the characters are flat as hell. The story is kind of rote and obvious. There's some good points to it. It's just not told very well. The environmental traversal, typically, pretty much all the clambering up the sides of mountains and buildings and stuff, mantling up onto ledges, that can be a little sticky. I think that could use some improvement, but yeah, it's a really solid start for that studio's first main console game. Welcome to Hotel Roland. Are you here to spend the night? Ellipsis Vern, it's us, don't you remember? I know, I was just joking, Estelle. I'm sure you guys have already slept together at least twice this morning. In different beds. I was practicing my greeting just now. Oh, really, Ellipsis? Did you ever notice that Vern teases people with a straight face while being courteous at the same time? That's probably because he can, Ellipsis. You know, Estelle, if you pass your exam, you'll be the second female bracer here in Roland after Sherazar. Oh, and good luck to you too, Joshua. How much does it cost? 20 for... That's not too bad. It's usually about 100 in the other games. But this is our hometown. It's just... There's the pooping tub. Yeah, gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta go to the hotel. Brian says, not exactly a start for the studio. Yeah, if I didn't, I meant to clarify there. So far as I know, it's their first major console game. I know they've done some mobile gacha type games. Septian Calendar 1075, erected in partnership with Liberal Royal Family, Septian Church in Roland City. Destroyed during the 100 Days War when Roland was bombarded by the Erebonian Imperial Army, rebuilt with the cooperation of citizens of Roland. Mr. Paddington! Now I know that voice from somewhere, Ellipsis. Ho ho ho. Well, what have we here? Cassius's naughty daughter and clever son, huh? Just when I thought you hadn't been around in a while, you show up all grown! You here every day, Mr. Paddington? This place has become somewhat of a new home for me. I intend to spend the remainder of my days guarding this clock. Oh, okay, well, bye. Ladder goes up to the observation deck, ellipsis, sad ellipsis. What's wrong, Estelle? Something on your mind? Dead mom? It's nothing, really. How about we climb up to the observation deck? Sure, I guess, ellipsis. Okay, that's enough observing. Dave says, yeah, story's pretty generic, but it has a couple nice gimmicks story-wise. It does. I don't think the story itself is bad, like Metroid Other M. I think the story is fine, at least what they're trying to do. I just don't think it's told very well, and I don't think the characters are broadly pretty good, although there are definitely some moments. Does a lot of good stuff. Not entirely successful, but... Okay, where the hell am I standing? Okay, you're at Mayor's House Church, alright. Got turned around. Yep. The British term, says Lou, is cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Although the origin is disputed. Alright. These beds are facing the wrong way. Let's see, Ellipsis. Yesterday's sales totaled... Ellipsis, our breakfast service has been going really well. Sometimes my husband comes up with some good ideas. Sometimes. Breakfast. Genius! You know, when people wake up in the morning and they're hungry, we should feed them. Nom nom nom. Chew chew chew. Munch munch munch. Gulp. I get so hungry working in the mines. Welcome! Oh, Estelle and Joshua! It's been a while, hasn't it, Alyssa? Is there something going on today? Could it be that you're on a date together? Yeah, right. We're actually on our way to bracer training now. Oh, is that all? Everyone from Sunday school seems to have decided on a career or goal and is working hard to achieve it. As expected, you're a bit different than everyone else, though. What? Is there something wrong with that? No, not at all. I just thought it was very like you to pick the unusual route, that's all. Oh, that's right. Tio decided that she was going to help out at her parents' farm. She even said for us all to go up and visit her sometime. So that's what Tio decided on, huh? Gonna do the chicken butt egg extraction. Everyone from Sunday school seems to have decided on a... Yep. Good luck, Estelle. Get out of my way. I must work. Yes, I've already made arrangements regarding the lumber. I'm looking into the septium right now. Good. Simon, listen to me and listen well. Right now is the time for us to purchase lumber and septium. Ignoring the potential risks, I'm going to buy as much as I can with the budget. My aim is to capitalize on the Queen's birthday celebration. I believe the prices of these goods will rise before and after the festival. It would be best to stock up on these commodities while they're cheap and then put them onto the market later. Well, okay, after you. I started working here because the owner said he'd let me manage the bar. After they started the morning and lunch service, however, I've been more of a waiter than anything else. I wanted to get my hands on the alcohol, really. Alright, fries, soda. Wholesome pasta? We ate a wholesome pasta. Am I in your way again? I'm sorry. Alright, where is the menu for... I thought it was this, but we may not be able to open it. Yeah, all we've got is the map. Yo, Estelle and Joshua, aren't you a pair of early birds today? Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Dinsell. In response to the requests of my customers, I started offering breakfast. Today's special is wholesome pasta. It's superbly al dente. Alright. Snake! Hello. So, one of the, get in the middle of town here. One of the nostalgic food items that my sister and I tried last year was chocolate milk and strawberry milk. We made that simply by buying a bottle of Hershey squeezed syrup, chocolate syrup and strawberry syrup, and squeezing it into milk. But almond milk, because we have adult sensitive tummies now. I don't particularly like. We thought it was kind of crap. I don't think Hershey's syrup is very good. So this year I've made my own chocolate syrup and strawberry syrup. So I'm gonna read out the thank yous right now, and you in the chat tell me what you'd like me to try first. The homemade adult chocolate milk or the homemade adult strawberry milk. So, we are raising money for Rady Children's Hospital, and oh, shit, Snake! Just made a donation, so let me add you to the list. Snake! That's 23 individual donors. 7 more, and I'll put on jewelry. Alright, so raising money for Rady Children's, we have raised $18.69. Nice, so far. So thank you to Addicted to Chaos, Michelle Estes, Brian Gillis, Mike Lamp, Cheryl Still, Daniel Gunkel, Keith Mangold, Kurt Slagle, Lindy, Deborah Young, Kat Slagle, Kate. I didn't even spell it wrong, I just read it wrong. Kat Slagle, Jim Close, Nandini Nadig, Anonymous, all the Anonymous, Super Metal Dave, Chrisopolis, Corinne Hilbert, and Snake! Thank you all so much. Alright. Strawberry, yep, okay. Alright, give me just a sec here. Hey Kelly, do you recognize this? Alright, the sound of the game's gonna cut off because of the chain of scenes. Where's my mouse? There we go. Okay. Now I put myself a note on the bottom of this view, so in case I forget to put the stream back where it's supposed to be, y'all can remind me. So alright. Almond milk. All right, so this is just a honey bottle that I repurposed for my homemade strawberry syrup, made from real strawberries. All right, bottoms up. Mmm. That's... You know what this tastes like? Strawberries. Which is a notable step up over the Hershey's squeeze bottle strawberry stuff, which doesn't taste like strawberries. It was just kind of chalky and gross. That was really good. All right. Success! Alright, where did I put my phone? There it is. So if anyone's wondering, the strawberry syrup is just strawberries, water, and sugar reduced into a syrup. You have to be very careful you don't reduce it so far that it ends up jam. If you do, well, you end up with some really delicious strawberry jam. So took me a second try to actually get it right, but there we go. All right, gotta change the view back. And let's okay. There we are. Alright, we're talking about Lindy's amazing art. Yes, her art is amazing. She also drew the art for the Movie Mandates podcast. You do have to check the chat. Check the chat doesn't bug out and not go through like happened when you... Yeah, 1 year because of the time change. The chat just disappeared for an hour. I figured everyone was asleep, but I think... Man, that is actually really good. I think they just kind of fell into a void for an hour. Alright, let's see. The weather is so wonderful and revitalizing today. I have the strange feeling that something good is going to happen. Something tells me I'm into something good. Alright. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Estelle and Joshua, how you been? Good morning, Mr. Fate. Morning, sir. How's your father, Cassius? Is he doing well? Yep, he's doing so well it might even surprise you. I don't think there's anyone else his age who's in such good shape. Haha, is that so? My daughter's really wanted to see him, but he hasn't shown his face around here in a while. Could you give him a message for me? Tell him that Fate says he'd like to talk about the old days sometimes. Sure, we'll tell him. Hey, Joshua, Ellipsis. How does Mr. Fate know Dad so well again? I know they're friends and all, but Ellipsis... I've heard that they were battle buddies during their days in the Royal Army. Oh, yeah, that's right. Please tell your father to stop by again sometime. I'd really like to talk with him about the good old days. Yep, bed right next to the open flame. That seems safe. Let's see here. It looks like my husband's gone to work, Ellipsis. I better do the housework quickly and head out to take care of the shopping. Farming, mining, and timber. Those are the three major industries here in Roland. See, now that we're past 1 o'clock, we've got 23 hours and 49 minutes left of the marathon, so that the timer makes a lot more sense now. Farming, mining, and timber. Those are the three major industries here in Roland. No exaggeration to say that these industries are what support Roland economically. Timber industry, which grows forests and in turn uses the trees as a resource, began at Queen Alicia's behest. No matter how abundant the woods and forests are here in Roland, they're not limitless. Her Majesty the Queen has a good head on her shoulders and a real knack for business. My husband works in the Malga mine at the north of here. He left here at the crack of dawn. Sometimes he doesn't even come home for days on end. I hope he doesn't get burned out from working so much, Ellipsis. I'm always worrying about that. My daddy's job is digging holes, and he finds lots of pretty rocks inside. He says they're called septium. Ah, Ellipsis, that girl is so cute. I've got to be courageous and try to talk to her. Is there a door on this side? No. Good. Oh yeah, there were stairs here. Is Ida not over here? Yeah, no one's sitting down outside, okay. She's not here right now. She wasn't, like, sitting in a pew or something, was she? Or the character doesn't exist, I'm just misremembering. Alright, that's the Bracer Guild. Good morning, Stella. Oh my, well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. Are you on your way to Bracer training? Yeah, and just you watch. I'm going to pass this exam and be as good a Bracer as Shara, too. Darn right you are. I have faith in you. By the way, Estelle Ellipsis. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Did you wash your face? How? We have no sinks. There's only the pooping tubs in the hotel. How about your teeth? Did you brush them, too? Joshua's so fastidious, but you always forget to take care of yourself. Mike, hey! You don't need me to work right now, do you? Because I know Mushir is going over some of the insurance files this weekend. Come on, that was a long time ago. I don't do that anymore, right, Joshua? Now that you mention it, Ellipsis. You did take off from home the other day with your hair all in a mess, right? Ellipsis. That was only because it was an emergency. Mr. Renan got the newest Strega brand sneakers in on that day, Ellipsis. Estelle! Yes? You listen to me carefully. For a girl your age, you need to take care of these things. If your appearance is messy, you won't look like someone that people can trust even if you are a bracer. Your appearance is a reflection of what is on the inside. Alright, I'll be more careful from now on. Well, that's that. Now how about the both of you get on over to the guild? Just can't argue with her. Lou says, this year I'm having serious technical problems with my banking, so I won't be able to donate until after the event. All I can do at the moment is putting cash in the mail, which wouldn't be very safe. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. No worries. Will do. Yeah, if you can't donate, you can donate to Extra Life anytime. It doesn't have to be within this window. So, if you can't make if you want to make a donation but you can't do it now, perfectly fine. You can make one at any time. Is Lindy out? Take care, Lindy. I sound better than Thursday? Yeah. Yeah. My, Yeah, I was a little on the downside on Thursday, but yeah, feeling pretty good today. I think we've stream started without any technical glitches, really. I think things are going well. The strawberry milk I made is yum. Then I've got Monday to sleep it off, and then on Tuesday I've got a bunch of insurance files to verify, so... Top of the morning to you, kids! Good morning, Mr. Elgar. Good morning, sir. Well, you're up rather early, aren't you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but today is your last day of training, isn't it? I seem to remember you saying something about it the last time I had you run the store. Yeah, that's right. I see. Well, I'm sure you'll do just fine, Joshua. Estelle, on the other hand. Now, Estelle, on that prediction? Well, I've played this before. Now, Estelle, on the other hand, Ellipsis, I've got good reason to worry. She's always been a bit scatterbrained ever since she was a child, probably all the knocks she took to the head while playing with the boys. Really, Ellipsis. So I guess that scatterbrain trait isn't something new, huh? I'll give you a head injury if you don't shut up. And don't call me scatterbrained. Okay, you two, let's not fight now. And shouldn't you be getting over to the guild? So let's see, we've raised 1869. Nice. For the children! And, so... No... Andreas in Obelaris... oh, man, I'm not sure where the breaks are. Do I ever watch Hentilia? I don't know what that is. Anyway, we're about 130 bucks away from 2,000, and if we raise 2,000, I'll up my donation to match 250. Yep. I'm getting let's see. Oh. Just Mike put a link to the YouTube stream in my in the Slack channel. Okay, thanks, Mike. Seems like just yesterday that Estelle was clinging all over Cassius, and now she's a bracer. Looks like I'm getting old. Let's see. This is all too expensive. That's what we have. That's too expensive. We could buy some boots. But we'll save our money. We bought some food and we still have to buy the paper for Daddy. One of your friends cosplays Rukia. Well, I don't recognize the name, so, probably not. The morning air is so crisp and fresh. Let's see, it's about time I water my lovely flowers. Yes, they're very lovely. Good morning, Mr. Brennan. Hello there, Estelle and Joshua. You're up rather early today. Did you come to buy a new pair of shoes? Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like, Ellipsis, the newest Stregas. Unbelievable, you actually already forgotten why we came in here to begin with. We're not here to shop, you're supposed to be buying a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Ah, ha, ha, Ellipsis, of course. I've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid the new Stregas aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of the Liberal News, though, I should have them in around noon. Noon, huh? Well, that's right in the middle of our training at the guild house. We'll stop by again after the training's over. Sure, I'll be waiting for you. So you're gonna be bracers, are ya? I'm jealous. I wanted to be a bracer when I was a kid, too. You could probably say that every boy in Liberal wants to be a bracer at least once in their lives. Except that this one's a girl, Ellipsis. Why do you have to make such a big deal out of things, Joshua? There are other female bracers, like Shara, too. I didn't mean it in a bad way, even though I said it in a bad way. Well, hang in there, study hard. When I get my copies of Liberal News in, I'll set one aside for you. Terrible, improving person, beat charge, yep. Stuff. Dirty carrot. Filthy, filthy carrot. And no globby fat. What kind of store is this? What kind of business you running here, Mr. Brennan? Hey, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, how are those orbments working out for you that we tuned the other time you were here? In your case, Estelle, it's not whether the orbment is good or bad, the problem lies in the way you use it. You're always jumping into things without a second thought, so you end up being slow to learn. If you just start thinking before you start swinging, then you'd learn twice as much. Well, excuse me for sucking. There, no need to get upset. Everyone has these problems when they first start out. If you can get the hang of things, you'll gradually be able to handle them better. That's right. I'm gonna master using this as quick as I can and surpass even Joshua. Yeah, whatever. My stuff's gonna be so cool that he might, like, roofie me and steal all of it. When I first entered the Zeiss Central factory, I pretty much couldn't use one of those things either. Even you couldn't use one, Freddy? Yeah, but I can still become an engineer even if I can't use one. But since you're aiming to become a bracer, you have to learn now. Ellipsis. Everyone has a bit of trouble getting the hang of battle orbments from the start. When you get the hang of things, eventually you'll be able to handle them better, Estelle. Alright, I don't think we have any... Yeah, we don't have anything. We have orbments, but we have no quartz at all. Yeah, well, we have no sepiths, so we can't do anything. Defense, attack, yeah, look at this adorable little selection of quartz here in the first game in the series. Defense, HP, attack, evade, and action. Adorable. Hey, I'm still setting up shop. Ah, Estelle and Joshua, you seem to be here rather early. Good morning, Mr. Melders. Good morning, sir. We appreciate you fixing that orbit light the other day. Speaking of orbit lights, isn't the one outside our house burned out? We should get that replaced ASAP. Orbits sure are a daily life necessity, aren't they? When I was a lad, there weren't any of these orbment thingies. Now we can get fire and light with a mere flip of a switch, and even ships fly in the skies. I don't like it. Don't you kids think things are way too convenient these days? No, I've never thought to myself, man, this convenient thing is too convenient. Yeah, well, if you just learn to shut your big trap, Ellipsis. When I was young, I made things a reality through hard work and sweat. Sweat, I tell ya! It would be nice if these young kids these days knew the meaning of the phrase hard work. Hahaha, yeah, you're probably right. Orbits are convenient, alright, but I get worried that young kids don't understand what it means to work hard. You hear me, Estelle, Joshua? Don't forget what it means to stand on your own 2 feet. Alright. Is it Ina? Yeah, Ina. There you two are! Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yeah, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. As long as you pass the written test, Estelle. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. Can we read the board? No? No. Sherry, baby. Brian says, peculiar thing I remember from these original games. For some reason, there's no way to see details about crafts in the menu. Oh, yeah! Yeah, that's right. Ellipsis. The Star and the Hanged Man, Ellipsis. The Hermit and the Magician, Ellipsis. And last of all, inversion through the Wheel of Fortune, Ellipsis. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this, Ellipsis? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for both of you to show up so early. Well, since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already, Ellipsis. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it, Ellipsis. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Ah, Joshua! Shara's picking on me! Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, Ellipsis, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, Ellipsis, her instincts are sharp, and so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best, Ellipsis. Hold on a sec, Joshua, Ellipsis. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me, Ellipsis. Well, that's odd, Ellipsis. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever, Ellipsis. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future, Ellipsis. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? That's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. It's the final training. Do-do-do-do. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And, Estelle, make sure you pay close attention to what I'm going to say. Especially close. Yeah. What would you like to know? Alright, tell me about orbments. They're mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or processed septium installed. Though it's only been about 50 years since their invention, Ellipsis, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and every other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships, and eventually the internet. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Tell me about bracers. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. Tell me about where we live. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zamorian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbit technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. Alright, that's it. Now we know everything. Let's see, Ellipsis, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Well, since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if it were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, Ellipsis. There won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure I have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training, Ellipsis. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it! But first, let's teleport downstairs. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there is something that we need to give the both of you. Fine, are you ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. Is it quartz? Quit wasting time and go get them. And just where do you think you're going? We're not finished with training. Ornery little snot. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Got a bracer notebook. Alright. Does that have the recipes in it? Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything you may find and wear, Alex. Oh, pardon me. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain, Ellipsis. Understood. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. Ellipsis, I'm sure there were two. Ellipsis. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So, get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, got it. Brian says, I'm sure none of this history will be at all relevant for the rest of the series. It's flavor text. Make sure you do, Ellipsis. Alright then, let's begin. Look over there, by the door. You can see there's a bulletin board standing there, mocking you. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Alright. Press button. Select job, view details. Right. Here's our book. Alright. Cooking. I think we still don't have our recipe book. I think it's this button. So, alright. Okay, not that bulletin board. Bulletin board's over there. Quit screwing around. Alright. Training, retrieval. From Sherazard, 500 mirror. Direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Sherazard for details. Alright. Automatically in our bracer notebook. And we can go on the books tab, and there's also a button for it. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. Just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. In Orbital Factory, you modify your orbits and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. Oh man, yeah, I remember. This is back when the individual quartz point totals added up to certain arts, instead of just grabbing the quartz that had that art on it. Yeah, I like the modern, or at least modern where I am in the game. I like that system better. This is a pain. Bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Yeah, that's about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the experts. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. You kids don't know how good you have it. Lazy little whippersnappers. Why, when I was your age. So, what is it you would like to know about? Tell me about orbits. They're mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airships, engines, and so on are also types of ordnance. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle ordnance, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and the lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith, too. Imagine if you bought a phone, but, like, most of the features were locked and you had to take it into the phone store to have it to pay and have it manually unlocked. Yeah. I see what scam you're running, Melders. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So, what is it you'd like to know about? Alright, tell me about arts. They're magic, which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle ordnance. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go, ellipsis. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed in a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of the installed quartz. Basically, you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So, what do you want to know about? Did I already ask about quartz? They're the circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects, raise the owner's ability, which simultaneously make it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of the effects until the quartz has been installed into a slot. However, these are also fixed slots, which also a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbit and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. What do you want to know? Sepith. They're fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided in 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but ellipsis. At the orbital factory, it can be... Earth is supposed to be... It said earth brown. I always saw it as orange. Then again, I also saw that one cat is green, and the dog is purple, so... Yeah. Can be used to synthesize quartz and open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. I know everything now. Brian says, I preferred the only system of carefully optimizing under mathematical constraints, but I don't think Belcom wanted their games to appeal solely to people who've mastered linear algebra. Yeah, it looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. It's actually not too bad if you have, if you go to like a web page and you can look at the arts chart and see, but it's really in-game a pain in the ass to keep opening the bracer book, going to the right page, scrolling through the several pages of arts, looking at the values, going back to play with your quartz, then misremembering what the hell something was and having to go back. It's not so bad if you have it actually laid out on a spreadsheet or something, but yeah. Alright, gonna have to spend some sepith, and we got some sepith. Alright, with that amount you should be able to synthesize a few quartz, and I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbits. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you'd be able to exchange sepith for Mira, but with this training you will not be able to use this service. Good work so far. If you need to use... Yep, give Freddy a holler. Let's leave. Oh, can't leave. Yep. Go. Yeah, looks like you're doing well. Select the modified trade service. Alright. Okay, so, if I'm remembering, Joshua has a, he's locked a time court, so we need to get action 1, which gives him a little extra speed, which is always nice anyway. So we'll get this. And defense, HP, attack, or evade. Okay, let's see. Did I equip it? What's this? Orbment. Go. Gives him Clock Up and Soul Blur. That's nice. Defense is fine. What's your evasion? Let's give her attack. It lowers her defense a bit. Forgot about that. That's 5. Wait, yeah, that's... Sure, we'll do this anyway. Actually, we can grab them all, so... Alright, looks like you synthesized them. Want to increase the arts you can use, install quartz in your orbit so that you can use recovery, both recovery and attack arts. I think she wants us to put the blue one in. Recovery and attack arts, yeah. Alright, got it. Wrong one. Alright. Yeah, she wants HP. Actually, what happens if I put the wrong one in? Nothing different, it's just you're not going anywhere until you do. Alright, looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Actually, I think this is pretty well conceived for tutorial, right? They gave you enough money to buy one of everything. Joshua, you have to equip him with 1 quartz, and that's going to be the attack, which leaves... You know, it's like, you need this, and you need healing. So, rather than just say, here's a time quartz and here's a water quartz, put this here, right? It makes it feel a little bit more organic, and since you have to figure out which one is healing and which one's attack, the player has to actually figure this out on their own. So I think it's actually well conceived. Your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbits. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a very good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbits. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Alright. Brian says, nothing on the original version of Dragon Quest VII, though, which took like 3 hours before the first combat encounter. Oh, he says, yeah, I can see why people thought this dragged at the beginning. Too much tutorial before getting a taste of combat. Yeah, it's actually kind of surprising that there aren't any enemies between the Bright Residence and Roland. You think you would have run into just a few enemies that you can just bash on the head real quick, but no. Chrysopolis says, I suppose it's called Trails in the Sky as opposed to hastily rushes in the sky. Yeah. Alright, slot. this is... yeah, I guess we'll just go up this one. Oh, that's interesting. So... both open the same. So does Joshua... oh, we can only open one. I think we've only got enough separate for one, so... let's do that. Yeah. You opened up one of your slots. Since it's not limited to a particular element, you're free to install any tap ports you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Yay! Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test, Ellipsis. Again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Ah, Ellipsis. Ha! Ellipsis. Ha, Ellipsis. Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table, Ellipsis. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild, Ellipsis, and humanity, Ellipsis. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like Ellipsis now? I don't know if I'm ready for Ellipsis. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me, Ellipsis. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Oh, don't mention it. Good luck with that test of yours. We're rooting for you. I'm gonna remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua! I will give you chest compressions with my feet with the full weight with my full body weight behind them. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood? Ellipsis. I think they're, Dragon Quest VII is the one that they're doing a remake of for next year, I think, right? What's wrong, Estelle? Ellipsis Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but Ellipsis, is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cash just drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? And I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks, Ellipsis, unless you forgot that too. Pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers, Ellipsis. Ringing any bells yet? Ellipsis? What a relief! Brian says, I remembered that Estelle is Bestel, but I'd forgotten just how Bestel she is. And, yeah, it's a second remake next year. Cool. Oh, divine Ideos, Ellipsis. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory, Ellipsis. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed, Ellipsis. I'm already starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all, Ellipsis. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. Get in the sewer. This is supposed to be a test. How about you both try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know, get in the robot, Shinji. Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyways, you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Roland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, Ellipsis, there are real living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let your guard down, you will die. Be sorry. Well, let me give you this before I forget. Terror Bomb, nice. And a monster guide. Alright, what's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. I don't think we have to actually scan them in this game, though, do we? Whenever you figure out a monster's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Yeah, sounds straightforward to me. He controls the flow of information, controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. Estelle, you've got a head on your shoulders, so that's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. I hope they'll do 4 through 6 as well, so you can finally play 5 and 6. Yeah, 4's always been my favorite. And Dragon Quest switched to the PlayStation in the 90s, so I never actually got to play Dragon Quests 5, 6, or 7. Alright, let's, we're searching for an object inside a chest. The sewer system seems fairly straightforward, so there shouldn't be any problems. Alright, let's go back to our ordnance here. Yep. There we go. Firebolt! Attack. May as well make a save. There we go. Just put a save down there, that's fine. Leave. Wait a minute, Estelle, we still haven't retrieved the object we're looking for. We can't go back empty-handed. No scanning till 0. Yeah, that's There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Recovery points. Use it to refill stuff. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Hello, little rat. We'll just sneak on by. No. Monsters at 12 o'clock! Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters can't be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. Unless you have appropriate forts. The condition at the start of the battle will change depending on how monsters engage. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Alright. The battle order bar, who attacks first, starts from top and moves down. Oh, yeah. We have a linear menu instead of the wheel. That's right. Okay, well, let's just attack. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you are using a mouse. I'm not using a mouse. Huh. If they're out of range, you'll get a target. No attack. Right. Can't reach that guy, so let's smack you in the head with our stick. Dirty rat. Whap. Okay, don't have our arts or crafts unlocked yet. Oh, he didn't miss. Alright. Can I reach? No. Is the rat asleep? Wake up. You gonna attack or... Oh, alright. I think we just beat up a dead rat.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Juicy bone. Got that juicy rat bone. Oh yeah. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to be cast, and uses EP. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's see.
Piece of cake.
The cloud of flies was carrying some crisp onions. Aha! Get that dirty rat from behind. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that. Crafts have range limits, but can be used instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. Yep. So we should have a little bit. We've got 20. Character-specific skills, it uses CP. Alright. Guys, come on!
Come on.
Well, there's only one person here, so... Alright, what do we have? We have dual strike. And Joshua hasn't missed yet, so... Ooh, there we go. There's a rat attack. Bonk.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Be interesting to see if Joshua's sword still flips into the floor in the remake. In this ending pose. If they do the same pose. Alright, we're at the hour, so let me use the restroom real quick, and then we'll read our thank yous and continue on. Alright, we are raising money for Rady Children's Hospital. Raised $1,869 so far, so let's say some quick thank yous. Thank you to Addicted to Chaos, Michelle Estes, Brian Gillis, Mike Lamp, Cheryl Still, Daniel Gunkel, Danielle Gunkel, Keith Mangold, Kurt Slagle, Lindy, Deborah Young, Kat Slagle, Jim Close, Nandini Nadig, Anonymous, Super Metal Dave, Chrysopolis, Corinne Hilbert, and Snake. Thank you, everyone. Alright, so, one of the, let's see, Brian says, I wonder, did they program a different voice line depending on whether she's with one or more guys? Yeah, they might have. So, one of the nostalgic foods my sister and I ate, last year was fruit roll-ups. They're okay. They don't really taste like fruit. Like, if you didn't read the flavor on the box and didn't have the color of the fruit roll-up to kind of... Because if it's red, you're like, well, it's probably like cherry or strawberry. I don't think I'd be able to guess what flavor it is, because it doesn't taste like much. I mean, it's very sugary. So the adult version of that... I decided is chili spiced mangoes. Kind of a fruit gummy type of thing. So. Yeah, these are really good. You know, the way I ate fruit roll-ups is I'd always wad them up into a ball and shove the whole thing in my gob at the same time because that gave me something to actually masticate, something to chew on, right? You can't just nibble on a corner of a sheet of fruit roll-up. That's as useless as wiping with a single sheet of toilet paper. So one thing I really like about these is they've got some thickness, some body to them. There's something to chew. It also tastes like fruit, 'cause it is. And it's also, you know, it's got a kick to it, 'cause it's covered in chili powder. So, that's yummy. I like these. Also, I'm hungry, because I forgot to eat lunch. Alright. Back to the game. There we go. Kelly says, oh yeah, they were bland, sticky, and weird sweetness. Yeah, I mean, it's... What's interesting is a lot of the childhood stuff, the flavors are a lot of times not accurate, not unpleasant. Like, the mac and cheese, I don't know what that flavor is. It's definitely not cheese, though. It doesn't taste like cheese. The fruit roll-up is just kind of sugary. Most of that stuff is just very simple in flavor. There's not a particularly complex flavor profile. These are... Found a reviving balm? Let's talk to the chest again. This chest is empty, Ellipsis, because of you. Nice work, hero. I will be upset to an immature degree if the Sky remake does not have chest messages in it. Just don't rub my... Yeah, don't rub my eyes now. Thank you, Lou. Get a napkin. Oh, it's a fair point. Oh, I still have the, there we go. The door is rusted. Appears to be locked. Yeah, well, maybe later. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-craft or S-brake should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-brakes are actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-crafts which go into tactics, set S-brake within the main menu. There we go. Alright. S-crafts immediately unleashed, ignoring the battle order when CP gauge reaches 0. Yeah, press that button to unleash... oh, that's right. It's not an actual button on the controller. I have to move the cursor down to... Right, I remember now. Alright, now, press that brake button and try unleashing an S-brake. Alright. Well, this guy's only got 11, so...
Here I come!
good to go.
Hello. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? We've made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake. Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or foe. Use the S-brakes to ignore the battle order. It makes it easy to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. The bonus icons appear next to the character's icon to receive that bonus. So, heal, Sepith up, all kinds of stuff. Alright. So we get Sepith up. Unfortunately, I don't have True Hurricane. Or, well, it wouldn't start out. I guess it just starts out Hurricane. No. We want to build up CP. Oh, good. That's Joshua's job. Nice. According to the code, says Brian, Estelle and Joshua have the same base miss rate. Practical results may vary. Counter! Oh, no. Gonna sit over there. We're coming for you. If I had Flicker, I'd get you now, but I don't. So we're just gonna have to run on over. Get him from here. Hey, we found 2 small boxes. That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside this bigger box. The fact that there's not just 1, but 2 is kind of interesting, too. Wonder what's inside, Ellipsis. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. Pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. Ellipsis. You know we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right? Ellipsis. Do you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yep. Opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. As long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua Ellipsis, but I just can't help myself, Ellipsis. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright. And talking to the chest. By looking inside the chest again, you flunk! Ha ha ha! Just kidding. We'll be back for you in second chapter. Anyone responding? No? Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. And we'll give him a small box. Yep, Ellipsis, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one, Ellipsis. I figured she would try and set us up like that, Ellipsis. Congratulations to the both of you! You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Ellipsis, Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out, Ellipsis, after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? Or didn't you just say that we passed the test? Still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Well, in my case, tomorrow at noon. Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed, it seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Oh, I had mentioned earlier, Kelly, do you recognize this? This piece of furniture is something Kelly got me for Christmas one year. In fact, Christmas is going to be very difficult for her this year because she uses the charity event, being out here for the charity event, as an excuse to scope out my living space and see how I'm not adulting correctly and what I need to help me adult properly, like the adult I chronologically am. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Pardon me. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Ina is in charge here in the Roland branch. In addition, this is where you will be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. You won't outdrink me, though. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? So talk to her. Let's go home. You've passed. Only one thing left to do. Receive payment for the thing. We got a BP, got some money. We're now Now junior bracers. Yay. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into a major problem. Kelly says, yes, this is true. It will be a lot of fingers crossed gifts this year. Yeah. When you receive the results of your report the results of your hard work to the guild. Pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you'll receive. You'll also accumulate points, which are known as BP, Bracer Points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a Bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a Bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior Bracer start at 9, go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of beer and BP you receive will also be recorded in your Bracer notebooks. Have a look sometime later. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Ina, and sorry about putting more work on your plate than usual today. Don't worry about it. Training new Bracers is important for the future of the guild. Although, looking at a skull, I am worried about the future. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. Yeah, this little mobile surface is really helpful in the kitchen, because my kitchen is very small and I don't have a lot of counter space. To the bone, ellipsis, is this tell? And one nice thing, I keep it in a corner where it's a little bit larger than the corner, which means, yes, I have walked into it, but the nice thing about this piece of furniture, this is where my hip is. This is where where this is. This is my hip. This is the furniture. So when I miss and bump it, I don't clock myself right on the hip. I've walked into that. I've clipped that sucker pretty hard before, and I'm like, oh man, I'm glad that's hitting like the meat of my thigh and not right on the damn hip, because, whoo, that would hurt. Knowing Shara, it'll involve the whip, ellipsis. Let me say it again, good work you two. You've now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you will be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then, ellipsis. She holds up 2 small boxes. Aren't those boxes the ones, ellipsis? In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright, let's have a look. They open the boxes. And it's the Iron Gauntlet, given kind of a thumbs up. Junior Bracer emblems. This crest is ellipsis. Does that mean we're ellipsis? Ahem! Estelle Bright. Joshua Bright. If that's your real name. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as junior bracers within the Bracer Guild. Now go take a shower. You smell terrible. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice for the children! Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. I'm sure nothing eventful will happen. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild. So I'm a Bracer now, huh, Ellipsis? Ellipsis. I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua, you should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs. Like this! Look at us now, world! We did it! The very half-hearted thumbs up, yeah. Yeah. I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed, ellipsis. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed-up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand you've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. I mean, it wouldn't be as many hours if I do my damn homework, but, you know. You may be occasionally required to babysit a drunken bard. Before you head out, Shara, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara. Don't mention it, training new recruits is one of a Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. You know my dad? So that's why you have such respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much, but she doesn't do all the you know my dad until she leaves Roland, but yeah. Much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. Going to the bar. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So, why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who's always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. No-good middle-aged man, huh, Ellipsis? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. I fought the man when I was a child and got my ass kicked. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right! Alright. Gonna do one thing real quick. Whoop. Okay. I guess it's not gonna be that quick, because cutscene. Hurry up and come on! Wait for me, Luke. Huh? Oh. It's only you two. Oh, great. It's Estelle, Ellipsis. Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp. What's with the oh great? It's a... What's with the oh great? It's Estelle remark. And what's the big hurry? How about I just inhaled chili powder? Do not talk while eating chili mangoes. What's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. I mean, not the one to our house, apparently. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be stinking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe. How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Liberal than the milk that comes from the Purcell farm. What, Ellipsis? No way. You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers. More like bracers in training, really. I don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. A high pony, on the other hand, Ellipsis. Quit being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you. Aw, Pat, you're such a good little boy, unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a bracer first, Ellipsis. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me, Ellipsis, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle, Ellipsis? What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. Mature like me! And that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Ellipsis, Sunday school is dying to have you back. You'd better watch out, Estelle. I'm gonna train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, Ellipsis, I'm coming, Ellipsis. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. I still need to buy the paper. That boy, Luke, Ellipsis, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something, Ellipsis. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. What do you mean by that? Oh, don't worry about it, just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. I mean, not that child, maybe, but that's not really what I meant by curious, Ellipsis. Alright, Ida, or whatever her name is she out here? There we go! And it was Ida! I remembered from 5 years ago. It's such a warm day today, isn't it? It looks like we'll be able to take a nice afternoon nap. Oh, I don't have my my cat book with me. I'll have to go get it because we'll be changing games here real quick. Such a warm day today, isn't it? Looks like we'll be able to say, yep, nice afternoon nap. I can't actually talk to the cat, though. Alright. This button. I don't know why I'm saving it, doesn't really matter, but... Alright, this is where we'll call it for, Cold Steel, Sky first chapter.